installment to the podcast. It'll be on YouTube only because it's video based. This is the Biker's Lifestyle Podcast, PSA. And today's PSA is about everyday carry. We all see the guys doing the silly shit with some sort of weaponry, whether it's carrying a pistol on the outside of their bike in some kind of holster, somebody sharing a link to a floorboard that has a gun inside of it. All of these things are stupid. I don't know who thought of it. I don't know who's buying it, but I know people are, and it's getting kind of ridiculous. Another thing that gets ridiculous is stuff that they carry on their person, like knives or, some sort of a baton. Now, these things can be useful, and I'm sure people have defended themselves with them. And something's better than nothing sometimes. We all want to say that a good old-fashioned fist fight's the way to go, but unfortunately, that's not the way the world works. Sometimes there's more than one. Sometimes they have weapons too. So, if you're going to defend yourself and you want to carry something to defend yourself with, well, you should pick out the right type of gear, per se. Now, before I go any further, I will say this is only for entertainment purposes only. Check states and local laws in your area or whatever area you're traveling in or through to make sure that you're not going to get in trouble. And take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am not an expert. I am not any sort of tier 1 operator. All my experience comes from taking self-defense classes, training classes, that type of thing. So, without any further ado, let's talk about knives. Now, I don't know why it became super popular for guys to start buying knives at gas stations, but they started buying knives at gas stations. And they're sharp sometimes. They don't hold their sharpness, basically because they're made out of the world's cheapest material from China. So, how good are they? Well, chances are it's going to fail you. Chances are it's going to end up becoming a liability at some point. Personally, I try to steer people away from them. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it is what it is. Now, if you want to carry a folder, carry like a simple buck-style type knife. This, I don't know where it came from. It was a Christmas gift, but it's very sturdy. The sturdier the knife, the better the knife. The better the material, the longer it's going to hold an edge. It's just going to be reliable. Now, this isn't spring-loaded. You actually got to open it up, but it's just a really good, sturdy, sharp knife. Now, is this going to be a really good knife to defend yourself with? Probably not, because it takes a little bit to deploy. If you're in a situation where adrenaline's going and it's a fight for your life, you want something quick. You want something you can easily access and, neutralize whatever threat you're trying to neutralize. So this probably wouldn't work for you. This is more of, I need to cut something, I need to open a box, I need to gut a deer, whatever, right? This is more of a cutting things like relaxed style. And I'm burping. Anyways, but we're a shit show, so what do you expect? Anyways, this knife, it's a good knife, but something I wouldn't want to try to defend myself with. So, but I do carry it. I carry it to, to cut things. Sometimes you got to cut things. Now, if I'm going to carry a knife for self-defense, I would carry something like this, a fixed blade knife. Now, I'd also like to point out the sheath that Tiller's Toppers made me. Very high quality. It's even got my name engraved in it, little chain on it, for obvious reasons. And it's just beautiful leather, beautiful construction. It's got rivets in it. It's very sturdy. It's very solid. Now, what do I carry in it? This is an Ursa. They call it a kitchen knife or a butcher's knife. I do use it to cut meat sometimes, or doing some barbecuing. But it's a very sturdy knife. It's made out of really nice stainless, I believe, and it's got a really thick spine, and the spine goes all the way down the back. It's basically a chunk of metal with some wood on it for a handle. This knife probably won't break, and it probably won't lose its edge. And if I need to slash or stab somebody or something, this knife will probably get the job done. It's very sharp. It will solve a problem. Now, keep in mind that you don't necessarily want to go for a weapon right away. I try to tell people, don't even try to get into some shit, man. Try to stay as neutral as possible. Try to be the bigger man. But if you can't, if you gotta defend yourself, if you've got a problem and you can't throw hands and you can't take care of it with just skin on skin, and you feel you need a weapon, something like this, some sort of a fixed blade knife is not a bad option. Now, do keep in mind that you're probably going to go to jail if you use something like this, and you're probably going to have to stand in front of a judge and explain why you did. Or at the very least, you might get, questioned, your knife gets taken away, they leave you in the wind for a period of time. If the DA wants to press charges, whatever. So do keep in mind this is a last resort. Everything that we're going to talk about is a last resort. But your first course of action should be to just not get into shit. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Like I said before, sometimes you got to defend yourself. So a fixed blade knife for self-defense is a pretty good option. Now, they do make really good folders. I would recommend a folder that is, well, expensive. If you're paying $20 for a folding knife at the gas station, chances are it's not going to be a good option. Yeah, it's spring-loaded blade, and it comes out real quick, and it's really cool, and you can impress your friends, but at the end of the day, chances are that fucker's going to fail you when you need it. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, fixed blade knife is usually the way I would go. Just a really good option. But sometimes maybe you want to throw fist, but there's more than one, and you got to make every punch count. And I do understand that not everybody is a trained fighter. They don't practice their jiu-jitsu. They don't go to their boxing gym. So maybe not every punch is going to be able to knock a man out. And let's be honest, it is kind of hard to knock somebody out. I mean, professional fighters rarely knock out somebody with one punch. And a lot of times, if you're in a bar fight type situation, you're fighting more than one fucking person. So that's where brass knuckles come into play. Now, I don't know how legal this is to have, but I do carry them. And I carry them because sometimes you don't necessarily want to strike a death blow with, say, a fixed blade knife. But at the same time, you got to get somebody down quick and fast, and the easiest way to do it, in my opinion, a pair of brass knuckles. If you have enough steam behind these things, they're going to do some real damage. Make sure that they're not some gaudy piece of shit that's not going to fit your hands, that you're not going to be able to punch with, that's just something cool to look at and to pull out in the bar to try to impress chicks or some dude or whatever you're into. Brass knuckles are great. They save your hands. I may or may not have ever used these before, and I may or may not be able to tell you that they get the point across. Chances are you hit somebody with these in the right location, it's going to stop the fight, or it's going to stop them. So brass knuckles aren't a bad option. I usually carry them in my back pocket, usually a pretty quick access point. Usually if you hit somebody with these, you're probably not going to get like a serious charge unless you do like some serious damage, but they're good to have. They're good to have in a situation where you might need to take care of something that normally you couldn't do with just bare knuckles. So brass knuckles, not a bad option. Now we have to say goodbye to the Instagram people because we're going to get to the cool shit. And Instagram will probably get mad if I start showing you cool shit on Instagram. So check us out on YouTube, Bikers Lifestyle Podcast. And without further ado, where were we? Oh, yeah. So let's say you want to carry a firearm. Now, a lot of guys will tell you what they think is the proper thing to carry. And some are right, some are wrong. But for me, what do I carry? I carry a Glock 43X. Now, I carry it in some sort of a holster with a Kydex type material, some sort of locking mechanism, so where you can't, it won't fly out, but it's easy access. Usually you want to stay away from the leather holsters if you're using a striker fire gun that doesn't have a safety, because the leather can deform and catch the trigger, and yeah, you're going to have a hole in something. My particular holster is a crossbreed. It's got leather on the back, but it's really thick leather, so it's not really going to go anywhere, and it's got the Kydex, and I carry inside the waistband, and that's just what I carry. It's a crossbreed holster, about $80, and I've never had a problem with it. This particular holster's over a year old. I always modify all my holsters to sort of fit my particular gun, so I can easily access it and everything, and yeah, so weapon is clear, and yeah, this is my Glock 43X. Glock 43X is a subcompact 9mm. Now, a lot of people say that 9mm won't get the job done. I disagree. If you're shooting target ammunition out of your gun, like a ball type ammunition, full metal jacket, if you will, yeah, maybe 9mm will just go right through somebody, not do much damage, and the threat will still keep coming at you. However, ammunition technology has really taken off. You put a plus P round in here, like I carry a plus P gold dot hollow point, it'll stop somebody. You might have to shoot them more than once. You might have to have a good shot placement, but for the most part, a 9mm gun will get the job done. The Glock 43X is subcompact, meaning that it's relatively small. To put it in comparison to the brass knuckles, I mean, you can see that it's not very bulky, it's not very big. They do make a 43 that has a smaller handle, so when you're carrying it, especially inside the waistband, the handle isn't as big and it won't print as much. However, if you got man-sized hands, you will hang a pinky and you won't be able to get a good grip on it. Now, I chose the 43X. They also make a 48, which is basically the same gun as this, only a little bit longer of a barrel. They say it's a little bit more accurate, and they say it's really doesn't matter, because when you're carrying a gun, the barrel goes down, it's not going to make much difference. It's the handle that makes all the difference, and the thickness. Either way, it doesn't matter. Are there other guns out there that I would recommend people to carry? Absolutely. The SIG P365. The SIG PC, the SIG P365 is another subcompact. Honestly, I've been looking at them about maybe even upgrading, because they're just a really good gun. I've been kind of trying to check them out, but at the same time, I'm still pretty happy with my 43X, and I really don't see a reason to change. Some people run a light on their everyday carry. I do not, mainly because of weight, and the only way I would see a light coming in handy is if you're trying to, like, say, clear your house with, like, with the lights off type situation. And to be quite honest with you, I have other guns in the house that have lights on them that I won't be using this. This is more of I'm out and about, and something happens where I need a firearm, and chances are there's going to be enough light to where I'm going to be able to identify the target and not shoot an innocent, or not have a flyer go off and hit another innocent bystander. I've got relatively decent night vision, so I'll be okay. As far as night sights, I also don't have night sights, mainly because chances are, if you need night sights, you probably just need a damn flashlight. Night sights would come in handy if you had a flashlight, but since I don't carry a flashlight, because I'm probably going to be able to see what's in front of me, I could probably see the sights that are on my sights that are on my gun now. So yeah, it's just a bone stock Glock. It's a good gun. I've fired it quite a bit, excess of probably close to 1,000 rounds through this particular gun alone. I've had it for about a year. Normally I like to shoot my guns more, but given the current situation of ammunition prices, I've tried to make the best I can with as least as I can. So yeah, I strongly recommend some sort of a subcompact 9. Now, I know there's going to be the guys in the comments section right now talking about their 1911s and their 45s and their 40s and their big caliber guns. I get it. We all want the biggest round possible. You know, if we could all carry Desert Eagles, hey, you know, more power to you. If you're the type of dude that has your everyday carry is a Desert Eagle, well, then hey, man, good on you. But that thing is heavier than hell, and yeah, it's just going to be more of a problem than anything else. So I would recommend a subcompact 9. I would stay away from 380s. And ladies, if your guy tells you to get a 380 pink something, whatever, tell him to shut up, okay? I guarantee you every single woman can handle this 9mm. Every single woman can be able to fire it and use it effectively and with absolutely zero problems. So, yeah, look into your 1911, or look into your subcompact 9s. If you want to carry a 1911, I mean, go right ahead, but hey, inside the waistband is the way to go. Only assholes carry open carry, because why are you trying to intimidate other people? Just don't be that guy. Don't give away the fact that you have a firearm. Don't make yourself either a target or give somebody the heads up on where your gun is and what you're going to be going for if shit goes sideways, and then they can develop a plan around it. So that's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. The last thing I'll talk about is more for fun. So let's say you're involved in a peaceful protest that turned into a peaceful riot. Let's say there's a whole bunch of people that are mad. And let's say you need a whole lot of firepower. Let's say you're in Kenosha in 2020. And let's say you see a poor 17-year-old fighting for his life, and you want to help out, and you're on your motorcycle. What are you going to do? Well, it just so happens that I know that a 10.5-inch pistol, AR, will fit in the saddlebag of a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, hard saddlebag. This is my particular 10.5-inch AR. Now, does it fit in my saddlebag? Yes. Do I carry it? Maybe. I have a hand stop on here from BCM, Insight Weapon Light, Hollow Sun 403C red dot, and it works. It works really well. And I recommend that if you're going to carry something like this, realize that you will probably go to jail and or prison if you have to use it, but it could save your life. And as Tupac said, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So keep all of this in mind. Comment below if you think this is a cool video. Great. If not, tell me I suck, because Tank had nothing to do with this besides editing the video. But you know, hey, if there's going to be guys out there, shout out to Black Dragon, that are going to show you how to fight with an axe handle, I'm going to show you how to fight or what to use to fight. I'm not going to show you anything because I'm not an instructor, and you should go out and find your own local training. I guarantee you in your area there's somebody that's doing training, and there's somebody that's trying to train people how to use these tools, and I recommend you go and get them. So till next time, this is Dirty, signing out.
I wanna taste the pain. I think I'm seeing all red. 2 bullets in the gun, 1